What if I told you that studying for 4 hours a day is actually making your grades worse? Right now, there are two types of students. This is student A. They study for exactly 33 minutes a day, get a full 8 hours of sleep, maintain an active social life, and score in the top 5% of their class. They spend most of their time taking practice tests and teaching concepts to their classmates. Then there is student B. They study for 4 grueling hours every single day, sacrifice their sleep, rarely see their friends, and still struggle to maintain a B average. They fill notebooks with highlighted text and spend hours rereading the exact same chapters. What is the difference between them? It is not intelligence, it is not dedication, it is how they study. Take a second right now and rate your own study method from 1 to 10. Got your number? By the end of this video, we will see if you still think it deserves that score. I am going to share the exact active retention formula that helped me go from getting C's to straight A's, cutting study time completely in half. Let me take you back to a night that changed everything for me. It was my junior year of college. I was sitting in my tiny dorm room, empty coffee cups scattered everywhere, my desk a complete disaster zone. It was 3 a.m. and I had been studying non-stop for 12 hours straight for a massive psychology exam. My eyes were burning, my back was aching, and I was running on pure panic. I was doing everything right, or so I thought. I was highlighting key points, rereading chapters over and over, and writing aesthetically perfect notes. Inside my head, my inner monologue was just screaming at me. Just one more hour. If you just read this page one more time, you'll remember it. You are putting in the work. You deserve the A. Keep reading. But deep down, something felt incredibly off. Despite all those hours, the information was slipping through my brain like sand. I was looking at words, but I wasn't absorbing anything. I was exhausted, miserable, and trapped in a cycle of fake effort. The next day, I walked into that exam hall, feeling like a zombie. I sat down, flipped the paper over, and froze. The questions looked like they were written in a foreign language. That night changed everything for me, because I failed miserably. I got my grade back, and I remember staring at the red ink, feeling this heavy, sinking feeling in my chest. I felt stupid. I thought to myself, why am I so weak? Why isn't my hard work paying off? Am I just not smart enough to be here? It forced me to face a very painful truth. I had absolutely no clue how to study effectively. Here is what nobody tells you about school. We have all fallen into the illusion of productivity. We confuse the amount of time spent studying with the amount of information we actually retain. You know you are trapped in this illusion when you spend 30 minutes curating the absolute perfect lo-fi study playlist, only to realize you spent more time looking for songs than reading the textbook. We write pages of notes only to never look at them again. It's like saving Instagram reels you are never going to rewatch. There is a trap here, called the consumption trap. It is this toxic belief that the more information you consume, reading more pages, cramming for more hours, the more you learn. Schools reinforce this lie. Teachers stand up there and say things like, make sure you study for 3 hours tonight. Stop doing that right now. Listen to me carefully. Your brain is not a sponge that just absorbs information automatically because you stare at a page. Your brain is a muscle, and muscles need focused, intense training, and then they need rest to grow. Here is the formula that changed my entire approach. Real learning equals the amount of information multiplied by your retention rate. Imagine two students. Student 1 studies for 5 hours, but passively reading. They only retain 10% of the material. Student 2 studies for just 1 hour, but uses a method that helps them retain 50% of the material. Do the math. Both students end up with the exact same amount of retained information. But the first student just wasted 4 hours of their precious life for absolutely no reason. When I realized this, it blew my mind. What if studying less could actually improve your grades? I know it sounds crazy when every YouTube video is screaming at you to grind harder, sleep less, and suffer more. Why are you so weak? Get up and study now. Yeah, no, shut up. Passive studying is like trying to fill a bucket full of holes. You can keep pouring water in all day long, but it will never hold. You have to patch the holes first. After I switched to active learning, using practice questions and applying information, my retention rate jumped from 10% to 70%. The result? My study time got cut in half, and my grades went to straight A's. Now you are probably thinking, okay, so how do I study less and actually retain more? Relax, I got you. Here is the exact 6-step study strategy that actually works. Pay close attention to the last one, because it is the secret weapon that locks everything in. Rule number 1. Break your study sessions into shorter chunks. Sitting at your desk for 4 hours straight doesn't make you a good student. It makes you a prisoner. Your brain's ability to focus plummets after a certain amount of time. You need to aim for 30 to 60 minutes per subject. When you know you only have 45 minutes to get something done, you work with pure urgency. You get in, you execute, and you get out. Rule number 2. Test yourself first before you review. I know this sounds totally backward. Why take a test on material you haven't studied yet? Because it primes your brain. Try recalling what you already know. When you attempt practice questions blindly, your brain immediately recognizes the gaps. You get a question wrong, and your brain goes, "Oh, wait, I need to know this." Then when you actually go to the textbook, that specific piece of information acts like a magnet. Rule number 3. Identify and hunt your weak spots. Most people study what they already know because it feels safe. You flip through flashcards of things you already memorized, and you tell yourself, "Wow, I'm doing great." Big mistake. That is fake progress. You are wasting time polishing trophies you already won. You need to relentlessly focus on the topics you struggle with, the concepts that make you frustrated. That is where real learning happens. Rule number 4. Use active study methods. This is the big one. If you are just reading words on a page, you are failing. You need to take the material and teach it. Pretend you have a classmate sitting in front of you and you have to explain the material to them. If you start stumbling, if you can't find the words, guess what? You don't actually know the material. When you force your brain to produce the information out loud, you are building thick, permanent neural pathways. Rule number 5. Connect ideas together. Rote memorization is a trap. If you learn facts in isolation, they float away. But if you connect them like a spider web, they stay locked in. When you learn a new historical event, connect it to something you already know. Make the information mean something. This makes information so much easier to retrieve later. Rule number 6. Listen close, because this is the most powerful one by far. The quick review before bed. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity for learning. Your brain actually consolidates info while you sleep. Careful. It takes all the fragile short-term memories from the day and cements them into permanent storage. Spend exactly 10 minutes right before you turn off the light reviewing the most difficult, most important concepts from the day. Do not look at your phone. Let those concepts be the very last thing your brain processes. Watch what happens when you wake up. Your brain did the heavy lifting while you were asleep. Here is the truth that changes everything. You don't need to suffer to succeed. You don't need to sacrifice your friends, your sleep, and your sanity to get straight A's. You just need to stop acting like a robot consuming data and start acting like a strategist. Do less, but do it better. So go back to the number you rated your study habits at the start of this video. Do you still think it deserves that high score? If not, that is your first sign that you are ready to level up. You are ready to stop being student B and start being student A. If this video helped you understand how to work smarter, not harder, hit that subscribe button. You just got all this advice for free. The least you can do is click one button. Now go out there, cut your study time in half, and take your life back.